No one wants to blow their speakers, right? Well, I've found an easy way to do it, if you want. This was pointed out to me by a commenter regarding a certain DAC which will remain nameless. Nameless because it's not the only culprit, and it would be unfair to single out one. It isn't unusual for a DAC to have options for the line output. Pre, as it's often called, goes through the DAC's volume control. LO, for line output, doesn't. Great, right? Both of these have genuine use cases, and a DAC should provide them. With Pre, you can connect your DAC to a power amplifier that doesn't have a volume control. Nothing missing there. There are many applications where you don't need one. Or active speakers. They usually have a volume control on the back, but often it's so fiddly to match the levels, it's easier just to set them both to max. So you control your listening level using the volume control on the DAC. With LO, line output, the volume control on the DAC is bypassed, and you'll control your listening level with the volume on your power amp. Just so you know, I have two setups. In one, my monoblocks are volume control less, and I set my listening level on my audio interface, which is of course itself a DAC on playback. In my other, the power amp has a volume control, so I set my interface to full and control my listening level on my amp. I don't really have a preference either way, it's just how things are. So what's the problem? Let's say you have a DAC with the choice of pre and line out. Your power amp doesn't have a volume control, or your active speakers are set to max. You'll set your listening level using the volume control on the DAC. Now, suppose by some terrible accident, or third-party messing about machines, often known as children, or your spouse doing a bit of dusting, suppose by any of these means your DAC is set to line out instead of pre. You come to play your favourite metal track on streaming, Ace of Spades will do. You've blown your speakers, or at least your tweeters, and possibly not your ears, but it was painful. Very much so. The reason is that the DAC's output on pre was relatively low. On line out, it's fixed at maximum, and so is your power amp, or your active speakers. Ouch, 3 times. Your speakers, your ears, and your bank balance. To put some numbers on this, suppose line level at 2 volts RMS, a power amp with 26 dB gain and enough volts and amps. That is 200 watts into 8 ohms. The near-field monitors on my desk are rated at 120, and that's specifically stated as the maximum. But surely this isn't going to happen. You know what you're doing and you're too careful. But thanks to Mr. Murphy, and perhaps Mrs. Murphy as well, what we know is that whatever can go wrong, sooner or later will go wrong. Now in some DACs, Murphy's Law is swerved by making it a process to select line out. It isn't going to happen by accident. Maybe you'd even need to reread the manual to find out how to do it. But what about a DAC where the merest flick of a control could switch from pre to line out? And if I say that such a DAC exists, I am absolutely not kidding. You might as well budget for new drive units right from the start. Anyway, I've warned you. Leave a comment please with your thoughts on this. And in the comments, please feel free to name any equipment that you've actually used where this is a potential issue. And if your speakers are such that you're saying, no, I'm fine, tell us what they are. Oh, by the way, someone's bound to say, why not put a preamp between the DAC and the power amp? Well, you can. But if the preamp's only purpose is to be a volume control, I'd have to say there's something not quite right. But again, leave a comment if this would work for you. See you soon.